Hey, my friend. I'm sorry it took me a couple of days to get back to you, but yesterday was my wedding anniversary and I enjoyed a 2-pound lobster, Maine lobster. And in Florida, boy, that's hard to come by. Um, so I watched both of your videos. I actually watched the video that I had already saw. So then I saw the two new ones. So if I seem a little out of it this morning, it's because of that lobster. It was just delicious. I want to shout out to R. Walker. He has been around with me since the beginning. He's a great guy. Check him out. I like him a lot. Okay, I'm just going to really quickly go through a few things. I think that we can move on to other subjects, and I think it would be a great idea. However, you had made a reference in your previous video earlier to this about the media in the Second World War. Just wanted to bring to your attention that during the Second World War, there were journalists, but they were not working for the government or the army. People like, let's see, Walter Cronkite, Ernie Pyle, who really pissed off the generals because he more or less was reporting on the soldiers. They didn't like, the brass did not like him. Walter Cronkite was on the front lines, and Edward R. Murrow. They were on the front lines. I don't think people really realized they were there. But that was from a previous video, and I don't ever think a war will be fought again like World War II. I don't think that there's going to be rules of engagement. Hopefully there will be. I just have to tell you, you made a comment that cracked me up when you said there should be a Secretary of State for stress. Yeah, that's definitely a great line. My husband is a historian, so I get a lot of interesting feedback from him. You mentioned in your previous video about Carter putting out a book that was anti-Jewish, and quite frankly, I didn't know about that. My husband said, yeah, there was, when I went to the page, and I was quite surprised. However, I still don't think that he was a corrupt president. I just think he was inept. Surprised me, though, that his book was anti-Jewish, I guess is what I can say. And I mentioned the media, so that's that. As far as Bush going to war because his father screwed up, whatever, I really don't think that he should have gone to war because of his father. I think he should have gone to war because of us, our country. And I really don't see where there was a direct threat to us personally. I know you're not anti-Semitic. Absolutely. And yes, Saddam was a very bad man, and he had a lot of palaces, and he had a lot of money, and he exterminated his people. But that had nothing to do with us. My point is, he didn't actually come for us. He was not a threat to us. So that's my first point. My point is, he was a very bad man, but he wasn't a real threat to us. I agree with you about Saddam and his palaces. But getting back to the original idea of the war itself was the weapons of mass destruction, which had nothing to do with the extermination of his people. That was from years earlier. As far as the Syria thing, maybe he did ship them to Syria, but there's no proof of that. So you can't go to war on an assumption. I think we're going to make a video about JFK in the future. That's a fascinating subject, and I really agree with you. It can't really be discussed here, but it's really a very fascinating discussion about protesting. You say that, you don't understand some of the things, and they're, wimpy and everything. Yeah, probably. It's not like how we did it. There was no chanting. There is no chanting. But you have to remember we were a large, large base. And we really didn't know what we were doing when we were doing it. We're just realizing it now. the people who protest in this country have every right to protest. It could turn out to be a ridiculous day, but they have the right to protest, and when a president tells them that they are an American for protesting, that bothers me. You know, we had those chants. Those chants, I think, are written up in the books. Habeas corpus. You know, I'm going to do a separate video about habeas corpus and why I believe that taking away habeas corpus took away our Bill of Rights. It's not going to be in this video, though, and I'll explain to you why. Habeas corpus has been suspended, and I said that in my other video, during different wars, and it was for the war effort, and there was definitely good reasons. I don't see now why it should be suspended, especially when we have so much Big Brother type technology at our fingertips. It's pretty scary. There wasn't that kind of stuff back then, you know, when we had our other wars. We have surveillance cameras. We have everything right now. And to suspend habeas corpus because of whatever the Bush's reasons are, and I know what they are, I think that's really dangerous. It's scaring the hell out of me. It's reminding me of Big Brother, and that's not good. We have a lot of technology now that we never had then. And yes, the English have cameras everywhere. I'm pretty sure we do too. I think you and I should do a video on Katrina. I think that's a real good idea. I've heard it said that the lower Ninth Ward, that big business really wants that land. And I'm not so sure that that's wrong. And maybe that's why nothing is being done. I apologize to you for making the comparison from Darfur to Katrina. And you're right. I mean, Darfur has got to be dealt with. And we have always helped other nations. And I know that we will. But still, we have two scourges on our soil that has not been dealt with. And one of them is the Katrina. The other one is 911. Ground Zero. It's been, what, 5 years, more than 5 years? And it's still there. They haven't built anything. It's a scar on our country. I don't get it. I mean, I know they want to build a building. Why haven't they started building? It's been 5 years. I think that's all caught up in red tape, and that's just, that to me, that's unacceptable. You know, I agree with you about the other nations helping. You know, when the tsunami hit 2 years ago, we were the very first country in there with aid. I mean, what? Within 24 hours, 48 hours, within the week, definitely. We were dropping everything on them, helping them. Why can't this country turn around and do the same thing for the people in the Katrina area, and you know, in the Ninth Ward? These people were poor before the hurricane, and now FEMA wants to take away their FEMA trailers, and that is a travesty. Because these people were so poor before the hurricane hit, where are they going to go? I think that President Bush should put a stop to that and say, look, these people need help. It's not just the fact that their houses were wiped out. Their livelihoods were also wiped out. So I don't like that Bush is overlooking the poor people down there. Yes, there has been some wonderful comebacks. However, the Ninth Ward is a disaster. It hasn't changed. That's going to be it for now. I want to continue with other subjects, though, like, you know, Katrina and JFK and 911. It's interesting to me. Why is this government not doing the things that it should do? We have two scars on the earth of this country, and it has not been dealt with yet. The tsunami hit, as I said, and we were right there. Why can't they do the same thing with our people down in the South? My friend, I thank you for all of your views. I think you're great, and I really want to continue the conversation. And anybody watching this on YouTube, take heart, because people can definitely disagree. and still be friends. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. If I'm sounding a little bit out of it this morning, yeah, blame it on the lobster I had last night. In the meantime, my friend, take care. Bye.